What's the Church of Scientology so afraid of?
This is SPTV.
Hello, everybody. This is Monday Night Live on SPTV. We're missing Nora. She's running just a little bit late. For you regular watchers, you guys already know Amy Scobie. And for you regular watchers, you may not yet know Vanessa LaRose. Let me pull up the little banner here. Vanessa LaRose on YouTube. So the name of your channel, Vanessa, and you did this channel with Alicia. Does she use all three of her names? Alicia Hoy Patterson?
Yeah, Hoy is probably the name that Scientologists would know, but she's married, so Patterson's her last name. Oh,
I got it. Okay, so explain the name of your channel.
Sure, I would love to. Anyone who has been in our culture knows that you're not really allowed to joke and degrade. It's like you're J&Ding, right? And it's a kind of, to me, it's like a slur, like you're degraded. And to believe that someone can be degraded is like, to me, so damaging, because then you have no hope for recovery or any kind of happiness. So we're taking our language back. We are not going to be labeled DBs. We are the degraded daughters, and we're making a channel about it. And we're just using our words to empower ourselves.
Yeah. You know, Amy,
and I was raised by child Dianetics, like by the word. So like it's a very, relevant name.
So you were born into Scientology, right?
Yeah. At home silently.
Wow. So, Amy, I remember that you did a video all about the derogatory words that exist in Scientology to insult people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And,
it was miles long.
Yeah. And one of those words is DB, or degraded being.
Mm-hmm.
And it just dawned on me while Vanessa was talking that when you call someone a DB, Scientology doesn't even really say, oh, we can fix DBs. It's almost like you're saying that's their permanent state.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's their permanent state, and it's something that they reject. So they're supposed to be, the solution for all of mankind, except for anybody that they deem, degraded or somehow not up to their standards, whatever that might be.
You never hear anyone say, I used to be a DB, but Scientology, now I'm a normal being.
Well, that was my question. I was like, so you have the quote unquote tech for those who you consider able, right? Because it's about making the able more able. What about those who you consider degraded? Anybody who's ever taken a psychotropic medication or had any kind of illness is now just like an illegal PC, can't be helped by Scientology. And that is absolutely absurd. And to me, the opposite of mental health care. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
precisely.
incredible. It is incredible to just consider the dirtiest word you could ever say in Scientology would be something like psychiatrist, psychologist, therapy, medication. And I'm still sensitive to the argument that kids are over medicated. I'm sensitive to that argument. Yeah. But the idea that anyone seeking any kind of therapy would be considered damaged, a DB, Scientology, we won't even touch them. We won't even let them get auditing for the rest of their lifetime. They had 3 months of therapy with a psychologist. And you wonder why Scientologists are so fucked up mentally.
I asked someone involved, like, what would you prefer us to do? Line them up and shoot them? Like, what are we going to do with mentally ill people? And they just didn't even have an answer for that.
Who did you say? Who did you ask that to? I'm curious.
My mother, a trained auditor. So I'm on the opposite spectrum. I work in mental health now. I'm a Medi-Cal certified specialist, and I'm doing what I believe helps people, which is helping them to rekindle their own hopes and dreams versus Scientology putting them on a path to somewhere.
That's awesome.
Good, yeah.
Okay, so you explained the name of your channel. What made you want to start a channel? Like, what you're like, let's do this? What was the reason?
Couple things. One, I loved the idea that you gave me actually of Scientology having to pay us to have their commercials run, because you know what? therapy and life after Scientology is not cheap. So any reparations they can give us for setting us up for a life of challenge, I'm more than happy to get. And also, I reconnected with Alicia recently. It's our 6-month reconnection anniversary. That's why we launched the channel. We had known each other in childhood, but not super well going forward. But when we reconnected, we realized we both were so similar. We fostered dogs. We had a lot to talk about. And we were having these conversations every day. And I realized that she was at the beginning of her journey. And you guys know it's like an onion peel. Like,
oh, yeah.
Keeps going. And there were certain things when I was studying psychology about 7 years ago when I first started that were mind-boggling and life-changing. And I realized that probably a lot of people are going through this and this kind of information could help. So maybe her and I having these conversations on film would be beneficial to people's mental health. And the whole reason I left Scientology was because the massive amounts of suicides from people I know. Just, we've talked about this, Erin, and it's like out of control. Sometimes I feel like I came from a suicide making machine, especially learning about behavioral health and child development. So anything we can do to soften the blow when somebody's leaving, I feel like it can be a super dangerous time for mental health. And you also don't want to reach out to a therapist or a mental health care provider. So maybe they'll feel comfortable just tuning in on YouTube.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, one of the cool things about, I don't know, even if there were 100 channels of former Scientologists talking about stuff, is that you have enough people. Like, if you're in the Scientology bubble and you stumble upon a video and it's someone you know,
yeah,
and they're being fair, not nice, but fair,
yeah,
accurate. And you're like, wait, this person's not an SP, or what I've been taught is an SP, these big, bad, evil people out to destroy humanity and suppress Scientology. They're just talking about real shit that happened to them. And wouldn't you know it, they kind of have a point.
Yeah.
She's kind of right.
Yeah. When you know one person, right? And then it's like, it can almost act as like, oh, I know that person who did that. Actually, Vanessa studied psychology. Maybe it's okay if I take one class or whatever. Plus, the adults who raised us know that we're not suppressive people. They know my heart. So seeing me talk about this, I think it will have an effect on them.
Have you had anyone come out of the woodwork now that you're putting up videos and stuff?
Yeah, quite a few.
Yeah,
it's really touching. And people who haven't felt seen, especially in the LGBTQ plus community, like, it's honestly so nice to just be able to be there for people who were shamed their whole freaking existence.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are under the radar still. So I got to tell you that. I talked to a lot of people who are under the radar, and I was having these kind of therapeutic conversations. And I was like, this is going to be easier if I actually film like this, and then people can watch it.
Yeah, exactly. What do you make of, there's so many people who have to hide that part of themselves if they're LGBTQ plus, and then they come out of Scientology and they realize they've been like, trying to be someone they're not. But I don't know what to make. I'm curious what you make of it. People like, who are some examples? What's her name? Catherine Bell and Brooke Jones, who've been raised, Brooke was raised in Scientology. She knows how much Scientologists look down on anyone who's LGBTQ. And yet she and Catherine both divorced their husbands so that they could get together. They've been living together as an openly gay couple for, I don't know, a decade or plus now. And they're still Scientologists. And I go, don't you know that they're just using you to look gay friendly? And how are you okay with that? You know that these people all think you're a 1-1, DBSP.
Yeah.
How can you live like that? I mean,
I
don't even know what to say about it.
I think it's filling an emotional need, because I know somebody who's in a situation similar to that. And I don't personally know her, but I know what happened. And she was shown a reference at the president's office, where they treat the celebrities in the president's office, shown her some kind of reference saying that, the whole 1-1 gay thing has been canceled. Actually, it was like a misprint.
Oh, all of the technology has been misprinted.
As long as they are not shaming them actively, these I think it's easy to make up like, oh yeah, you want to believe it because you don't want to stop talking to your parents. It's just like that, or your family or your friends or your loved ones. It's just like an easy thing to believe because they told them now, oh, it's been canceled. It's absurd to me. It sounds like self-hate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. By the way, for some people commenting on the audio, Vanessa's getting a mic, a different mic, but right now she's using computer audio. It's a bit tinny. It's a bit tinny.
Eek.
And Vanessa, like me, tends to be a loud talker, but her audio doesn't like when she does that.
Doesn't. Okay, I'm gonna stop being so exclamatory, folks.
I mean, you can keep doing it, but
I can see the comments now.
Okay, let's see. Nora is going to be here soon. I'm looking through. Amy, if you Amy, have you noticed StreamYard has a new system where it automatically stars all the super chats?
All the super chats, yeah.
If you happen to see non-super chats that you want us to take up for whatever reason, they're good, they're funny, they're interesting, they're topical, whatever.
Like the one that says
you
Amy
guys can both
Scobie's intergalactically fabulous hat.
Where is it? Yeah, do
it. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I'll go through.
What do you mean you're kidding? Did you see it? Did you see it? Is it there?
Yeah, it says Amy Scobie intergalactically famous.
Fabulous.
But I could go through and star some of these other comments because there's some really good ones with questions even too.
Yeah, no, please do. Please do.
Okay, no problem.
And again, I know Nora's going to join us soon here, so let me just, one of my lights just went out. I'll get to that in a second. Banner. Reminder, everybody, if you're not subscribed yet to Amy Scobie on YouTube, she is Amy Scobie. Nora will be here shortly on YouTube. She is Oh No Nora. And Vanessa and friend Alicia are the degraded daughters of Dianetics.
Yes, we are.
And cool. So here, let me.
Amy, I wanted to say thank you so much for I'm learning because I've watched yours where they're like telling you to be quiet too. So I'm learning.
I got a different mic because it was just flying all over the place before.
Well, we set up our Patreon, so if anyone wants to help us buy better equipment, feel free.
Right.
But I wanted to tell you thank you for doing the Aftermath episode because that was such an awesome thing to be able to watch and share with people. And
oh, wow, yeah.
I don't think the entire series would have been made without you guys sharing your experience. And so thank you. Yeah,
I mean, obviously my total, utter pleasure and honor to be able to do that show. And I just recently did a video with Leah. And we talked about the beginnings of the Aftermath and how that came about. So anyone who's watching, if you haven't seen that video, it's on my channel. And it gives the whole beginnings of the Aftermath and how that came about. Awesome. And we just recorded that very recently. But thank you for your compliment on that. I'm proud of my mom, who is the star of the show, in my opinion.
I think it's important to get these things out. And they're not our secrets to hold on to. So the fact that she was willing to expose disconnection and say to hell with it is just so cool. I hope my mom does that. She doesn't speak to me anymore. I've been disconnected from both my parents for about 6.5, 7 years. So
oh, wow, no.
Gives me hope.
Yes. Yeah.
Unbelievable. So Vanessa, I know you and I have probably spoken about your story many times, but we actually haven't spoken in a while. Yeah. What was what happened? Why did your parents disconnect from you? Why did you get declared? What happened there?
The ultimate thing was that I was unwilling to disconnect from my best friend who her mom had done OTA and left and spoken out. Her name is Martha Conway, the mom. And they spoke out, and then I was just supposed to disconnect from that whole family who, Martha had been on the OT committee. She had been a very active member in Scientology. So it's absurd how people just, the second they, speak out or do anything uncouth, they just turn their back on them. So I was told to disconnect, and I just didn't, and I couldn't.
Guys, real quick, I'm sorry. I spoke over you there. I apologize. Please. Is someone clicking comments instead of starring them?
Someone.
It's not me. I don't know how to use it yet.
Hey, Amy, you got to star them. You have to star them. You can't click them. I thought we had BTs up in the chat doing some shenanigans or something. I was like, okay.
My BTs.
Oh my gosh. So, Vanessa, your friend's OT8 mother. I've never even, what was the mother's name? I've never even heard of that person.
Her name is Martha Conway. They're in St. Louis now, but they were in Clearwater. And it was, I think she spoke out on like Marty Rathbun's blog. It was quite a while ago. And this was my initial, I knew that I didn't agree with it for a long time, but I was just keeping it chill. Like I didn't want to lose friends or family. I didn't have any reason to talk. It was just like a secret part of life that you didn't talk about. And then when they actually started putting my mom into OT preps, getting ready to do OT8, and she was finishing OT7, I think, it got a lot more serious. And they started looking at my Facebook, I guess, and figuring out I was getting texts like, why are you friends with Aaron Smith-Levin on Facebook?
Big
and you and I hadn't met at that point, I think, because we had gone to the Shakey's thing for like the Kids of Scientology reunion over.
That's right. That was a few years ago, right?
It was quite a while ago. And I don't even know if I had been disconnected from. So I was a little paranoid that there were people watching us because I didn't want to lose my family. And then, yeah, so that happened. And just the disdain for the religion, I guess, just finally got to them. And also just, I wasn't okay with them not taking any responsibility in all the suicides. On the aftermath, my friend Taylor's death had been profiled, and Taylor and I had the same field auditor, and I had watched her slowly collapse and then take her life. And the fact that, and then they had her funeral at CC, and the fact that nobody could even talk about it or take any, like maybe she needed therapy. Maybe she needed a little bit of help because she actually had a mental issue. People like that are so unaccounted for. And the auditing can make it a lot worse. So Taylor's death was really something that sprung me open. And then I just kept my, my space. And then I was told to finally start disconnecting. And that's when I was like, all right, I'm a grown woman. At this point, I was already studying psychology, thankfully. It was in my first year. And I had a therapist who I could talk to who could help me through the disconnection. And it was really helpful.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, but it was also like, I had a full mental breakdown. Like, it's not something I'm talking about it now. Like, it's no big deal because it's years later. But when you're being gaslit by your parents and everybody who raised you, like your own teachers are telling you, like, please call me. I don't know what's going on with you. It just gets really confusing.
I've said, or it's dawned on me recently, I've come to believe Scientology's crazy ass beliefs have nothing to do with why they are a failure as an organization. These other organizations or other religions have just as crazy or crazier beliefs. Scientology fails as an organization because of how horribly it treats its members. It is its own worst enemy. And I'm not advocating, they should change it. I don't give a shit. I'm glad it's shrinking. But it's not their crazy beliefs. It's not the everyone learned on the internet that they believe in Xenu. That's not the reason Scientology is failing. It's how they treat people. And destroying families is exhibit A.
Exhibit A. And they make their own worst enemies. Like we cooperated to leave in good standing. And then they hand us a suppressive person declare on the way out the door regardless. So I'm forced to disconnect, or my family is forced to disconnect from me. And the only thing I'm left to do is fight.
Yeah.
What am I going to do about it? And then meantime, Tommy Davis is on TV saying there's no such thing as disconnection in Scientology.
Yeah.
So they lie, they make their own worst enemies. And then they start trying to tell us who we can and can't talk to even after we're declared. So it's like, get the hell out, man.
Yeah.
No, they made their own worst enemies. We've been fighting ever since.
The examples are everywhere. I mean, when Heather and I left the Sea Org, it was because she was pregnant. And we came to Clearwater, where her entire family lived. Her parents are older than my folks. Like, my mom was still working at the org. Her parents were retired and everything. We moved here because it was the best thing to do for a family. What's the first thing they said to us when we got here? You guys can't live here. You got to move. You got to leave.
Right.
You're not. You didn't get approval to live in Clearwater.
What?
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
no, we never left, though. We never left, but they gave us shit about it, you know?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Like when we were leaving, you know, they make you do all kinds of different things. Sign this, sign that, be on video as you're signing these things that they write in your name that say you're the worst thing in the world. But I also had to sign that I would never come back to Clearwater. Like, do they own the entire city or something? So anyway, we moved to Clearwater Beach.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we didn't listen to that crap. But yeah, that's how they try to control you. They say you're going to have to pay $10,000 every time you break that contract or whatever. Anyway, I signed anything to get out of there, but it couldn't be held. You know, they can't make me not be in a city. It's so stupid.
I grew up in Hollywood because of the Celebrity Center. We moved here from San Diego when I was 5, actually because of ASHO, so that my mom could do the briefing course. And I grew up across from Celebrity Center at the Shangri Lodge. So I've made a big point to not let them take my city from me. And the college I went to is blocks from Big Blue. I would walk outside and see the building and just, oh, well, you're not, like, this is my town too. And I'm not going to hide, even though I felt like it at the time. But
yeah.
That's kind of how I feel when people ask me, why do you still live in Clearwater? I go, why shouldn't I? They can leave. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, other than the fact that the weather here is horrible and you don't go outside for 9 months out of the year, we probably should leave. But I'm at a point where I'm like, why should I give them the victory?
I know.
Yeah. And I also think that they're not like, I never received a declare order. I received a disconnection letter from my parent. I don't think that they're posting up the golden rods like they used to. I tried to go in and get a SP declare for the woman I was told to disconnect from, and I wasn't shown it.
I don't think
it creates
them out.
too much cognitive dissonance in the members to realize that all these people they know and these children have been disconnected.
Just wheelbarrows full of SP declares.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have my SP declare and Matt has his. I don't know if they were showing them to the people on their way out and then keeping them and not giving them because they didn't want them to show up on a message board or something like that, you know.
I remember they used to be posted at the org.
Yeah, they would be posted up. So people, it's supposed to be broad public issue for all Scientologists, so that they know who's suppressive and who's not. And so they used to do that. But I think because they were declaring so many people and so many people were leaving, that they couldn't do that. And they, you know, because they'd give away the fact that the whole place is self-destructing.
Yeah. All right, let's tackle some super chats here. Elizabeth Marino, Aaron bobblehead must include Goliath the SP dog.
Yes,
you know,
please.
I think we'll do a separate Goliath bobblehead. It would probably be much easier to do a Goliath bobblehead than to get a likeness of anyone else. Although I got to be honest, this face can easily become a bobblehead. It's
your face
perfectly
could be
shaped.
a bobblehead instantly. And well, we could do Goliath and we could do Mango.
Your dog Mango. Yes.
Oh,
that'd be awesome.
he would be so cute.
Okay, I don't know what this one means. Maybe you guys can help me out. Fans need to drop paid subscriber content. People who need to receive your message the most, those who are considering joining will never pay. I don't know what this means.
I know what they're talking about. Like, in order to see the content, you have to become a paid subscriber. But I don't know on what Substacks or something. I don't know. Because you can see.
Are you talking about because you mentioned that she had a Patreon?
Maybe that. maybe that's what they're talking about. But you can actually see your videos for free. You don't have to be a paid subscriber, and it's for people. Like, we're hoping, because we know that OSA watches and different people watch, and we're hoping that they'll see all the truth in there and the actual love and care that's available out here, you know, and stuff like that. So we're trying to make it free. I don't have any sort of subscriber situation that makes it so you have to pay to see the information.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, Miama. Is Gary Brecka with Scientology? I watched a YouTube, was impressed, but looked at his 10X store. Grant Cardone is a co-founder. It made me wonder if he is just swimming in sewage or actual sewage content. I do not know if Gary Brecka is a Scientologist, but it's not hard to find out. If you just search his name and then search Scientology service completions, you should see whether Gary Brecka has ever finished a Scientology course or auditing action. Now, to be fair, someone's name usually only ends up in the database if their name has appeared in the magazine of the organization where they finished their course or their auditing action. It's very hard to hide a history in Scientology. Anyone who's business partners with Grant Cardone has a pretty good likelihood of being a Scientologist, but it's not a guaranteed thing. It's not a guaranteed thing. Grant does a lot of business partnerships with people just for clout, and there's no Scientology involvement. So that's all I got to say on that. Blazin 666. Any stories on how Karen Powell was treated by David Miscavige when you were in Scientology? And is she number 2 in Scientology nowadays? Or if not, who is? Amy, you know Karen Powell, right?
Yeah, I mean, she's not a number 2 or a number 50. She's nothing. She's a name just because they use her name as a public facing person, but she was never like somebody that had authority really in the Office of Special Affairs.
Yeah.
The question came down, so I didn't see what the rest of it was, but
well, as far as how she was treated by David Miscavige, was she ever at INT?
No, not that I saw. I mean, maybe she did for some meeting or something that wasn't. I was there for 20 years. I never saw her one time. I saw her in LA, but her name just is used as the front facing. They don't have a spokesperson. They don't have anybody that can actually come out and speak on their behalf. Number one, David Miscavige doesn't trust anybody, but number 2, who do they have? Who do they have left?
Well, after the Tommy Davis fiasco.
Yeah, and he's like blown somewhere and remarried to somebody in a different country.
Yeah, he pulled Tommy Davis pulled a Tommy Cruise. He abandoned his wife and his kids when he literally he's a deadbeat dad to his kids that he had with Jessica.
Wow. Yeah.
Total deadbeat dad.
Horrendous.
Which is absolutely disgusting. I mean, even in Scientology terms, that is by Scientology moral standards, that's disgusting.
I mean, the spokesperson of Scientology, so he's the spokesperson and then the biggest A-list celebrity, Tom Cruise, and they're supposed to be all about the only technology that will save man, and they have the secrets that keep relationships together. All you have to do is open your eyes and look at that one to know how far-fetched it is.
Exactly. Unbelievable. Neil Lomez says, Red Elvis went to Scientology. Money for Bridge didn't do it. Yes, I heard he said, I'm not giving them their money. All they want is my money, and never went back.
No, he said there's no God in Scientology. And
was he religious?
Yeah. He said on the stage, he said there's one king. When people call him the king, he said there's one king, and that's Jesus. And so he said, in Scientology, there's no God in Scientology. But there can't be a God in Scientology. That would mean that maybe something or someone else was responsible for your condition. You are, everything you do, you pull in yourself.
Yeah. Oh, hey, it just occurred to me. Did we want to do any giveaways? do you want to?
Yes. I saw somebody. Somebody said that I'll do a giveaway of my book, and that they're going to pay for it for somebody to get it for me to select. We'll do one of those countdowns and stuff like that. So
wow. Well, we are at 29 minutes, 39 seconds before we do this giveaway. If you guys want to order Amy's book, what is it called again, Amy?
It's called Scientology Abuse at the Top, and it's a paperback version that I just produced, and I'm the only one that sells it, and it's signed by myself and my husband, Matt.
Wow. So did your first printing sell out?
Yeah, like I don't have any more. There's a couple that somebody's selling on Amazon for like $500. That's not me. I have my book is on audio and on Kindle on Amazon, but my paperback book, ta-da, this is newly produced, and I am the only one selling them. So, and they're signed by the both of us. So you can get them directly from me. And
So
also people are asking what's on my hat. So I'm going to show it to you. I have hat hair today. But I'm going to get this close. I've been dubbed Queen Bee. So this is a bejeweled Queen Bee. Oh God, I'm going the wrong way. SP, Queen Bee SP.
Oh my God,
that's so adorable.
Well, the hat looks great on you. So since we're at the 30-minute mark, why don't we tell everyone that you are going to randomly select a winner from the live chat right now. Do it. Give them a countdown. Give them a countdown. So you guys need to burn up the chat for Amy.
Yeah, burn up the chat. We're going to do countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nice.
Yes, me.
Basking in it.
Basking in it. You just won a Scientology Abuse at the Top signed edition.
Excellent. So how do they contact you?
So you just write to me at scobypublishing@gmail.com. So Scoby, like my last name, publishing@gmail.com. Send me an email. Let me know that you won and give me your address. Please do it right away. And I will get it sent out to you immediately.
Awesome. All right, there we go. Okay, next one here. Florida Panhandle girl. What is up with the trial, Aaron? Guys, the jury is still deliberating. They deliberated all day today, not so much as a peep or a question or an anything. They're only going to deliberate. It's a half day tomorrow. But court days are already short to begin with. So they're going to deliberate for 2.5 hours tomorrow. They're off the next day. And then it's Thursday. And I never would have dreamed that deliberations could go on for more than a calendar week.
Tuesday, tomorrow.
Yeah. It's a real shame. So that's where it's at. That's what's up. Neo Lomez, PP. Oh, Priscilla Presley to be buried with Elvis. Does burial matter to Scientology? Ooh, I like this question. What do you guys say?
I say burial does not matter to Scientologists whatsoever.
Yeah.
You're not your body.
I would argue that if a Scientologist actually wanted to have a funeral where they were buried in a casket, they would actually probably get written up for being other practicey, because it's just so against the philosophy of Scientology that the body's meaningless. Why would you put a body in an expensive casket and put the casket in the ground? Scientologists get cremated. That's what happens.
Yes, that's really what happens. And also that money could have gone to Scientology. So you're not going to waste it on a casket. Come on.
I tried to have a serious conversation with my mother about what she wanted after death, because it's important to me to know what people want. And to honor their wishes. And she pretty much said, I don't care. I know where I'm going. And I was like, okay.
She going to Target too? You should have said, you're going right to the implant station, Mom.
Oh my God.
No, she's gotten high enough, so she doesn't think she'll be to the implant station.
She's going to pick a body and then dive into it.
Or whatever.
Fight some other person for it.
Yeah, whatever they tell them to do with those upper OT levels afterwards.
They actually don't tell you. They don't tell you. I mean, I did them all except for OT8, which doesn't talk about that because I've seen the materials. I've done them all, and it doesn't tell you, because the whole thing is just a lie and a scam to just keep people, pouring their money in. That's all.
I'm actually dying to know whether like a modern day OT8, all 3 Ls, superpower completion, do they think they're just coming back, or do they think they're going off to Target 2 with LRH? I'm not even sure what they would say.
I bet you it's a different answer for different people because, it's not a uniform thing, I think. As a Sea Org member, we thought we were going with LRH to Target 2 because there's a lot of work to be done.
You did, right?
Yeah.
The goal is to leave the prison planet, right?
Right.
Oh,
Why
no.
would you
See,
want to
we're supposed to,
reincarnate?
no, you're supposed to clear this one and then go to target 2. So he's off getting everything prepared for target 2. So finish off here, and when you're done, meet him in target 2.
Oh yeah,
But
we
Amy,
all have to stay.
But so Amy, though, did you think, you said we as Sea members thought we were going off to target 2? Is that what, well, you mean after Earth was cleared or when you died?
Well, I think it was when we died, we were going to, because I don't know, actually, I thought my next life was going to be off to target 2. Maybe
So,
because we thought we were so far ahead on clearing this planet, which we didn't even clear a grocery aisle.
but you realize that saying, and I know a lot of people don't think too deeply about this. You don't tend not to do that in a cult. But if you say you thought your next life was going to be on target 2, that does contradict with the idea that the people at the Int base thought L. Ron Hubbard was coming back to Earth.
Okay. Yeah. See, now you're thinking logically. That doesn't happen there.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we had to have places in case he showed up. But meantime, he's supposedly off. He's so super OT, such an operating thing that he could come and just appear here, with another body if he so choose. So we better make sure that everything is ready for him. But when he died, we had to say that he was off at target 2 because he suddenly died. So, yeah.
Amazing.
It's whatever serves them the best. For some reason, it's not easy to grasp. And even as a person inside, you're going to get wishy-washy answers because no one really knows.
Yeah. Okay, this one's geared just for you ladies. Since we have a few gals on, we know LRH Scientology's opinion on scented hygiene products. What are their thoughts about makeup, girly products for public and Sea Org?
What is Scientology's thoughts about the makeup?
What are your thoughts about Scientology? Wait. Maybe I misunderstood.
I understand the question.
Okay.
Yeah. So Amy was Sea Org, so she had different rules than the public. But I come from a family of beauticians, and I spent a lot of time at the orgs because my mother would cut hair for the Sea Org members, and they were not allowed to do dramatic hair colors. I know that it had to be somewhat natural, and they did want the women to stay groomed, but nothing excessive makeup wise, correct? But the public, you could do whatever you want for the most part.
Well, while I was there, I have no idea what they do nowadays, but L. Ron Hubbard is super sensitive to any smells. And we were on a property that he was supposed to come back to and had all of his personal house and things like that there that we would go into as messengers. And so we weren't allowed to wear anything that had any scent whatsoever. Nothing. And so anybody coming to that property was not supposed to have any scent whatsoever as well. And people washing L. Ron Hubbard's clothes had to wash them like 6 or 8 times and then have certain trained messengers sniff them to see if they were absolutely scent free before they could even get put into the house. I mean, it's just crazy, over the top crazy. We would dust. You'd have to have 1,000 rags because you would take one lint-free rag, wipe the surface like this, fold it up like this, put it in a bag, seal the bag, get the bag out of the room, and then come in with the next rag and do it nonstop, full time, around the clock, all the time for all of his spaces. So scents were not allowed. In terms of public, I think that there were issues that rose perfume was a psychiatric.
Yeah, we were not allowed to wear perfume. That's true. For public, the scent
exactly.
is you're not allowed in the course room with any kind of perfume. They say it could trigger an engram or.
Yeah. Like there's some advice from L. Ron Hubbard about rose perfume being used as a trick by the psychiatrists to get, I don't even know, to trap Satans.
I'm only going to wear rose perfume from now on.
That's what's in my closet right now.
Perfect.
I love it. It smells really good. They trapped me.
But you know what I heard? That LRH's daughter, Diana, was the only person who was like, screw that. I'm using my scented products.
Oh, really? Well, I never noticed that. I worked with her. I
Unless I'm getting it wrong. Like
Yeah.
it was one of, it couldn't have been Mary Sue, right? Was Mary
No.
Sue the one who was like, screw that? It couldn't have been, right?
No, I mean, she wasn't up there anyway, but no.
No,
I
I
mean,
mean like on the ship with LRH.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know about the int base, but I don't know about on the ship. Janice would know that question.
Right. Well, I think that's where I heard the story from. It was one,
Oh,
and it was
okay.
really funny because it was someone in the Hubbard family that was like, yeah. Homie, don't play that.
It's like Diana to do something like that, but
maybe when she was young on the ship,
yeah,
maybe she didn't do it at int, but she did it on the ship.
Right.
All right. Kevin Compton says, thank you, Vanessa, for breaking the toxic cycle, getting out and going into mental health.
My pleasure.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Jen Nelson, welcome, Vanessa.
Hey, Jen.
Douglas Robinson, the BFG SPTV intro is the best. Yes, I don't have that intro because that's Mark's intro. So, but we will send your regards onto him. We got a question for Nora here. I'm gonna hold that until she gets here. Gigi, hey, I was wondering how the effect was done on the David Miscavige short where he's singing "I'm a Barbie Girl" song. So there was an app. There was some website where you could enter in a photo, kind of like the dancing elf cards that happen on Christmas time.
Yeah, I remember that.
You could just plug in a photo of a person and it would make it sing the song. That's all that was going on there. And someone else did them for me and sent them to me. It wasn't me who was doing them, but they were absolutely hilarious. I forget who this one was directed to, but question, how can someone reach out to you who may be trying to escape? So, well, I mean, obviously they can reach out to the Aftermath Foundation. They can go contact at the Aftermath Foundation .org. Vanessa, if someone's watching your videos and they want to reach you, what's the best way to reach you?
We have our email listed. It's degradeddaughtersunite@gmail.com. But, we're happy to chat with people when we have the time, but we don't want to set an expectation that we'll be able to provide any kind of therapeutic services because I do work in the field. I want to be just clear about that. So we'll answer, and we're so happy to hear from people. And I will provide resources to how to get yourself into therapy, how to enroll in school. I would love to help people figure out and navigate the community college system. So
that's great. That's great. I'm curious, does anyone's little doggy want to join us on the stream?
That's not mine.
A lot of dogs back here, but they should be quiet.
It's usually mine, but he's behaving himself right now.
If you open the door, will there be an avalanche of dogs that want to come in?
Yeah, I've fostered for the past 10 years. My current foster, his name is Elvis Presley the Chihuahua, because I am a fan, and we're raising money for him. He has cancer. I've been working with him, rehabilitating him for the last 3 months. So, hey, Elvis Presley the Chihuahua on TikTok, everybody.
Elvis Presley, that's great.
How many dogs do you have right now?
So I have my own 3, and then I have a foster, and then I'm actually babysitting 2 extras. So I've got 6 dogs here just chilling.
Wow.
I've learned so much from these babies and taking animal cognition and watching them recover from trauma and learning to trust again. And it's so beautiful. The animals were always there for me during my recovery. So I try to pay it forward.
That's great. That's awesome. North 40 Lady says, I really love seeing the older and younger generations coming together like this. Different age perspectives are important. Been listening to Scientology all day. Whoa.
Shots thrown.
The older.
Wow. Grandma, can I have some lasagna, Grandma?
Oh, this person's going to get a spanking. I tried to wear a hat so I looked like a teenager. No.
Send him to ethics.
Hello, fellow teenagers.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh
That is
my
funny.
God.
Very funny.
It's one thing if Mike's on where he's like, 67 years old or whatever. I won't ask Amy how old she is, but it's not that.
No, well, I'm getting there. My birthday in October, I'll be 60.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm rocking 60 almost.
Okay, Chaya Fabulous. Does Osa catch SPTV Live? They sound like fans. Do they thank Goldie for being a great moderator? Oh, they catch every episode of SPTV Live. That's for damn sure.
Hi, Osa.
The only time they get to laugh all week long, right?
There you go. Exactly. SP to Scott. SPT Scott. SP equals South Philly. You guys know the other meaning. Okay. Hugathaton says, welcome, Vanessa. Thanks for being an ally. SPTV rules. Nice.
Oh, thank you.
Another one from SPTV Scott. Someone dress as Xenu, then interview it on SPTV. Oh, I see. So we interview Xenu on SPTV. I think Mark would probably have to dress up as Xenu, but he would also be really good at interviewing Xenu.
Did you see that AI generated Xenu picture? Somebody put up on Twitter. Oh my God, I downloaded it. I don't know how to put it up here, but it was funny. It was a good one.
All right, Katie O'Regan wants to know, Aaron, have you heard from Reese lately? How's she doing? Hi to Vanessa. So sorry for what you've been through. Welcome to the big bad SPTV crew. I did actually talk to Reese just a few days ago, and she's probably going to come back on the channel sometime very soon to give an update. I don't want to speak for her, but she's definitely going through it, and Scientology's doing its worst, enforcing that disconnection, and that's never fun. But you know what? That's what they do. Shitty to everyone all day long. All right, let's take a look at this one. Karaoke Jen. Hey, y'all, watching the Hillsong docs. Does that mean documentaries? Are there anyone know what the Hillsong is?
Well, they're videos. I love Hillsong. I met them in LA at a screening of their movie, the Hillsong United movie. And I went to the after party and they were there. But anyway, they've got tens of millions of followers and their videos are a huge hit. So what's the question? Y'all watching the Hillsong docs? If that's what we're talking about, Hillsong. Well, it seems as if Hillsong and Scientology are extremely. Bobby Houston versus DM. Give you all your.
What is Hillsong?
Well, Hillsong United. Oh, well, okay. So there's Hillsong Church in Australia. Is that what they're talking about? I don't know.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to look up Hillsong documentary 2023. The Secrets of Hillsong. It seems like it's a new thing. How to watch The Secrets of Hillsong FX documentary premiere. The Secrets of Hillsong. The Secrets of Hillsong. Doesn't necessarily. I mean, could there be more than one Hillsong? I don't know what the documentary is about. So.
Yeah, I don't either.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I'm thinking about the band. Hillsong United.
Oh yeah, no, not the band. Not the band. Okay. All right. So maybe it is similar to Scientology. I don't know, but I'm going to take your word for it for now. Matt's caustic comments, super sticker. Is Matt the one who sent me one of the funniest videos today? Matt does these music video adaptions on his YouTube channel. And he'll take a popular song and he'll change it around with the lyrics to be a Scientology song. So in a recent video, I said I really liked the Disturbed cover of Sounds of Silence, and he switched that song to be a song shitting on David Miscavige and Scientology. It is so funny.
Oh my God! And
if I had more time, I was actually going to do a video about it today, but I ran out of time. So I'll do it soon. It was amazing. Okay, let's see. Rachel, XOXO UK. Where in the hell is Nora? Nora, are you listening? It's been almost an hour, Nora, since you texted me. All right, anyway, I got distracted. Sorry. With all the money in Scientology, did they try to pay you off to shut up, so to speak? Amy, did they try that with you?
To pay me money?
Buy your silence?
No, not at all. And I wouldn't accept it even if they did. No, they didn't. I left Scientology with $150 to my name, and I used it to get my hair done because I was in the RPF for 2 years and I looked like a scraggly rat, and to come into the world. So I started with no money, and they never tried to pay me money to silence me. They tried to use PIs and that kind of thing, but that didn't work.
Do you think when you were doing the Aftermath show, especially since you and your mom were like basically the reason the show even got done, you guys were season 1, episode 1, did they have any inkling that was happening? Because I'm surprised that they didn't come to you and try to sabotage the entire thing.
You know, they didn't know the initial thing, because what happened is I had contacted Leah, and right away she called for a shoot team to come interview my mom, who was in hospice. So they just, like, almost the next day were there and shot my mom. And then after shooting that, my mom died 2 weeks later. So it all happened super fast. So now she had that material, and then she was trying to figure out what to do with it, and it evolved into the Aftermath. But so Scientology was behind the 8 ball on that one, because it happened so fast. They didn't know, that was going on. After that, just all the same stuff, followed around by private investigators, and they got all the hate websites and things like that. And I saw you did a video earlier today with more information from that private investigator that was following us, and about how they trained their cameras to shoot inside our house through the sliding glass door so they could see inside. And you just get the picture of David Miscavige drooling every single day, being able to see inside our homes, makes me sick. These guys are just gross, man.
It is.
Anyway, yes.
I've seen them try to silence people. Like, do you remember when Kendra Wiseman spoke out, and the original Children of Scientology website, like 15 years ago, maybe?
Yeah.
Jenna Miscavige Hill, there were 3 of them.
And Astra.
Yeah. And I believe a couple of them got their parents back if they would just stop speaking.
Is that what happened to Astra?
I believe so. I don't know for sure, but I did hear that at least with Kendra, that if she would stop, that like she could have a relationship with her parents, which is so sad that this is what we're driven to. But
yeah, like they use the bribery in order to hi Nora. In order to try to control you. Of dangling your family in front of you. It's disgusting. Yeah. I know.
I was listening all the way home, PS, in the car. So I have many comments and things. I can't text and drive. That's illegal, guys. Anyway, yes, Aaron, I'm an hour away. Okay, jeez Louise.
Oh, I had no idea. You're an hour away.
We've been over this. I've told you a million times. When you're like, why do you have to be here so late? Because I work an hour away from my home. I literally ran in my house. I didn't even park in my garage. I parked on the street and then ran upstairs and changed my shirt.
Look what you made her
reveal
do,
where I
Aaron.
work at. And thanks for that generational comment, whoever that was. I just turned 47. Amy and I in the old school end here. Wow.
You're 47, Nora?
Yes, Aaron, we've been over this. You know how old I am. Quiet children.
He just wanted to hear me repeat it, right?
Vanessa is at least polite. And
I don't want to ask Vanessa if she's older than me, because it would be rude.
I like that she called us children. She said
Vanessa is not older than you, Aaron. You're old. Stop pretending. You have teens now. Aaron's trying to pretend that he's youthful and like a spring chicken. Get out of here. We've known each other almost 30 years, Aaron.
Apparently those years went by faster for you because you're much older than me.
I'm not that much older than you, Aaron. I'm not that much older than you.
Oh,
we both have teens now, Aaron. Let's be real. Let's be real.
My oldest is driving. We never see her.
Right? That's right.
Yeah. She's got freedom now.
When Aaron and I met, we were teens. Let's put it that way. So.
Oh yeah. Wow. So Nora,
we have teens.
I have not spoken to you yet. So this is a fun reading.
Amy, the last time we saw each other, we were both in very different uniforms.
Oh my gosh.
I wasn't wearing this.
No, I was calling you sir.
Hat?
And you were very intimidating. Everyone was very intimidated when Amy would come to Celebrity Center.
Oh.
You always still had that same look on your face that you do right now, Amy, despite your sirness. I want to say, Amy was always a very nice executive. She was never, you were never mean.
Oh, I thought I was sometimes, but
no, because I think the interactions I ever had with you was like, I was always friends with everybody. So like you were always nice. And then I would be, like with you with like the LRH comm or somebody cool like that who you were having like a great interaction with. So it was never like an ethics situation.
Oh, that's good.
And I never had one of my super embarrassing moments with you. So that's always awesome.
No,
not with like, no.
You never came up on my radar as any problem whatsoever. Just
that's
very
good.
service oriented. Yes. Yeah.
No, I mean, I came up on a lot of people's radars as a lot of problems. So
really, it was contained.
I was gonna say that radar might have needed some calibrating.
Oh no, I mean, well, that's the thing. Well, Amy, what were you? I mean, you weren't dealing with. I mean, I don't know. I was putting out a lot of fires too, so I was doing a lot of good stuff versus the bad stuff. So that always kind of is like, I always joke, like, if you eat some celery before you eat some pie, that cancels out the calories. So sometimes my good deeds
I wish I knew
out
that
my bad deeds,
ago.
right? I got to eat more celery apparently. But, so sometimes those things would cancel each other out. But not always, that's how it goes in this org. Like sometimes I did get to use the twisted policies of Scientology to my advantage. But mostly they bit me in the butt. I mean, I mean, this gayness was just emanating forth always, even when I wasn't fully aware of it. Other people saw it and I was in massive denial for a long time.
Right.
The chief off, who I'm sure you had many interactions with, Renee
Which
Duzak.
one? Oh yeah,
Renee Duzak. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which one? You know which one I'm talking about. Come on now. Everybody knows Renee. She's a bundle of joy. There's a lady we all want to succeed in life in all aspects. I'm sure.
Yeah.
All wishing her well.
She wasn't a very happy person in general.
I don't think she's. How could she be happy? What? This is it for anybody who doesn't know her personally. I think I saw her have joy, like actual joy in life, maybe 3 times, probably in the 5 years that I worked with her.
Who are we talking about?
Renee Duzak.
Yeah, Renee Duzak. She was the chief officer for.
I'm sure you interacted
with
her, Aaron. She was like your counterpart at CC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get her mixed up with Weege.
Oh, Weege, who was your actual counterpart at CC.
She was the tech sec.
Weege.
Well, I was the tech. Well, I was the tech sec at that show.
Right.
I have a hard time remembering Renee's face. I knew her husband Bruce.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Bruce. Yeah.
Okay, so I interrupted you. You said you only showed her experience joy like 3 times.
I think she only really had joy like 3 times, and that would be like one time her daughters randomly showed up, just totally random, surprised her at the org with one of her grandkids, and for a second her guard was down, and true joy came across her face to see her beautiful grandchildren, because it was a surprise. And, the other time was like something outstanding we did, and we got like an accolade directly from DM because we were declared in a state of power in the academy. And it was something that we did. Like we did it. We were, guys, it's time for my last break. It's something that we did, completely, it was enormous. It was like an enormous amount of work.
Right.
She like even shed like a tiny tear,
Yeah.
But it would just like, other than that, she just literally looked like she was walking on glass all the time,
Right.
just in no happiness, no love, no anything, no empathy,
Yeah.
no just misery. You know?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's how a lot of Sea Org members are. It was very few
Yeah.
and far between where it's not. And people are asking if that's mango barking, and no, it's not. He's being an angel right now.
Let me go check on these monsters 1 second.
Hi,
Okay.
Vanessa.
Clearly, it's my dogs. Hi, Nora. I can't wait to chat with you.
Yes. Yeah, my dog's just laying down here. He
Yeah,
said
yeah.
hi to me, and then
Yeah,
that was it. No, I did
Right.
want to circle back to the Tommy Davis thing. How you guys were talking about how he just abandoned his kids. I mean, that's classic Tommy though. Also, I mean, he's a total cut and run. What's ever good for Tommy is good for Tommy.
yeah.
You know, I mean,
But your own kids, I can't even imagine.
well, I mean, obviously, yeah, that's us though. You know, Aaron,
Yeah.
I mean, we would step in front of a
What a-
moving bus for our children. I mean, that's not, you know,
Yeah.
and they drive me nuts and I love them. But, you know, I mean, like we have discussions on the daily on like, I'm getting gray hairs by the second, you know, but I would still probably rip out, you know, like Indiana Jones style, my own heart and put it in their chest if they needed it, you know. That's, you know, that's a different style of parenting, but it's, you know, you know, I mean, you have to look at also, and I also try to always do like the flip side of the coin, right? Like Tommy Davis has no life skills other than being Ann Archer's son. Okay. And he's also second gen, like, you know, the majority of us here who have left. And the only life skill that he had was that he grew up in Hollywood and he hobnobbed with celebrities his whole life. Okay.
Yeah.
The man has no education, none. And his skill, oh, hi, Elvis. And he's so cute.
This is Bruno Mars, actually.
This is Bruno Mars. Even better. Hi, Bruno.
He's mine.
And,
Thank you.
and you know, and so that was his skill. And his charm was he would kind of looked like Tom Cruise, and he kind of could get into all those circles and meet with all these people because he knew them as a child growing up. And that was his life skill. And that was it. He was not trained. He was not anywhere on the bridge. He had no skills as a Sea Org member or as a Scientologist. His only worth was his in this world. And so his job was to be friends with the celebrities. He had no other post except for to be like the concierge in the you know, in the president's office. And let me tell you, as a regular Sea Org member at Celebrity Center who was busting their ass doing really hard work for celebrities, like word clearing them and having to sit in theaters with them, rewatching films bajillions of times, staring at them to see if they're falling asleep at certain points, taking notes, trying to figure out what misunderstoods they have and dig into their private lives and stuff, and then write, you know, just copious reports and do all this stuff. And then Tommy just gets to go to, you know, fucking Italy with Kirsty and get paparazzi pictures taken of him kissing her and nothing happens, you know, and just BS, right? He had a sweet life. I mean, this guy would roll up on a Harley one week and a BMW the next week and be on vacation in Paris with his supermodel looking wife and all this other stuff.
He was trying to be Tom Cruise, honestly.
Oh, absolutely.
He was trying to be Tom Cruise. He worked for Tom Cruise.
And then his second wife ended
like
up being Katie's friend. That was her post.
Yeah.
P.S. True story. She was the one that was auditing the auditor who was auditing me, who missed all my withholds, missed them while she was giving me the truth rundown about how super gay I was. It never came up. While I was doing the Key to Life LOC, my soup course, the like 20 things I did. And then she was giving me the truth rundown because Renee was convinced that I was super gay and everyone was missing it. I mean, she was right, but like, and it never came up. And Shyla was auditing me and she was in the middle of a co-audit with Jessica. And then it came up that Shyla had missed all these overts. And then Jessica almost went back to the RPF again because of that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But then that was when she was married to what's his face, who we were at Flag with, Andre. Is that right?
Andreas
Aaron?
Rodriguez.
Yeah, Andreas. Yeah.
All righty.
And she only rode that marriage as far as it took her, and then she married up to Tommy.
Yeah, she took
She's
quite
the
a hit.
climber.
Took quite a hit marrying Andreas. I'm sure that was lost some years of her life there. All right. So here's a question. Pamalama. If I understand correctly, but here it goes. If clear means you've conquered your reactive mind, then why does little Davy and little Tommy lose their cool? What's
Ellery
answer,
does say a cleared cannibal is a cleared cannibal. So should
are we
that.
let's answer this question how a Scientologist would answer the question, which is the difference is that if you're dramatizing the engrams in your reactive mind, you're expressing negative emotions without without it being under your own control, without your own consent, or but once you're rid of your reactive mind, you can go up and down the tone scale at will and be at cause over it and express the correct emotion when you want to express the correct emotion. So you can exhibit anger when anger is the correct emotion. And as a Scientology executive, being angry is the correct emotion.
All the time.
There you go.
It's their only emotion. Also, I brought it up the other day, but that definition of impingement in the admin dictionary, how many times were we all shown that little cartoon?
I saw your video on that. I thought it was perfect. Yes.
Was it enough jolt to attract attention, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You need to wake them up. My God. Yeah. Yeah. Slam your fist.
That's why Scientology execs go from 0 to 100 and then back to 0. Like it's totally normal. Except sometimes they don't go back to 0.
But I think the best impingement is when you're not yelling. The best impingement is when you don't yell at all. That is the absolute. That is scarier to Scientologists.
It's what I used because I would like to be kind and befriend people, and then if you disappointed me, it was like, kind of like just. All right. And so that would have more impact than if I was slamming my fist on a table. Plus, I never liked that to be done on me. So I never liked to do that on other people. And plus, in the Sea Org, you're wearing 4 stripes one day and you're in a boiler suit digging trenches the next day. So, it's going to be, you're going to be in the trenches with somebody. You might as well be nice to them.
You got to be careful who you're impinging on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll never forget Dave Pettit one time, the CO. He was all in my face. I was on decks and he was screaming at me, just laying into me about what a, SOB I was. He loved to do that. That's his favorite thing. I don't think he goes a day without screaming at somebody. I mean, honestly, I don't know how he has a voice.
Dave Pettit is gay, right? Does everyone?
I told you. I mean, my video's out there. I mean, literally, he could light up Broadway if there's a power outage. I mean, I don't know how that man has not gone to the RPF for just existing. I don't. Like the pink shorts that he wears every day when he's running. I mean, talk about a man who's like the pot calling the kettle black. The minute he saw me, he was like, "Oh no, she's gonna get me found out. Like, get her out of here." Like, just like freaking out. And then his son is gay. And that's like,
I forgot about that.
Forgot about little Maddie. Like, and that's a whole, I mean, I'm not in contact with Maddie, but that's like an openly, apparently the rumor is, and he's still going OT and all this stuff. And he's just like, well, I don't talk about what I don't talk about. But the rumor is he throws a great party. So yeah. Listen, I don't begrudge anybody anything. Like, Matt, live your life. Good. I don't care. Like, everybody who's closeted, who went through all the shit that all of us closeted Scientology babies went through, go live your life. Go live your fabulous gay life. Do the things. Do whatever. Also, Dave Pettit, go live your fabulous gay life. I don't care.
I know. I mean, he was married.
Let Diana go. Like, I think, actually, he already let her go. Divorced. He had to finally let her go. That's really,
because she's not a Sea Org member. That's because she wasn't.
That pissed me off so bad because they were allowed to be married for 25, 30 years. Maybe something like that, something ridiculous. And she was not qualified to be in the Sea Org. Okay, because she had taken LSD. So for years, she was in limbo. She was straddling the Sea Org and not Sea Org. But she was allowed to be a Sea Org member at first because he refused to join the Sea Org from Orange County Org unless she was allowed to be a Sea Org member. Okay.
I know
So
all
they made
about
a
it.
special exception for Diana.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, asterisk, you're a Sea Org member, but you're never going to get to be in Sea Org Day. You're never going to get to, you can't sit with us, but we're going to send you to Flag. So you just stay over there at Flag forever and ever and ever. And don't ever, bye wife, and don't ever, ever, ever come back to here. Right. So she was just on training forever. And then when she finally finished all her training, we're like, great, now we're going to get this Class 8 fucking CS back. Fantastic. Diana's finally done. Oh, just kidding. You can't sit with us. You're going to have to go to a Class 5 org for real now.
Crazy.
And it was like, are you kidding me? Like, we just spent all these years training this woman, and now she can't come here. But somehow Dave was like, I'm not divorcing her. Like,
I know. Well, he
can
was married
piss
for
off.
almost 40 years. It was stupid.
And
he
then
shouldn't have been.
I know.
Hold
and then
on.
They
He should
finally
not
made
have
him
been.
divorce her.
Well, he shouldn't
and then
have
now
been.
he got married. And then he married somebody who was like 20, and he was like 60. Like, no. See, and this is the thing, guys.
I don't want to keep going off on tangents regarding Dave Pettit, honestly.
But I mean, like, seriously. But this is normal. This is normal in the Sea Org for 60-plus-year-old men and minors, or like, you know, someone they could be a grandpa.
It's just extra weird that we have a 60-year-old gay man constantly trading up new beard wives. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, just one time. I think he's still married to the same whatever girl. Why would he trade up?
I don't know.
Did
Why
she
did he trade up
leave?
in the first place? I don't know.
Did some girl route out?
I don't know. All right, Jane Brown,
I mean, that
like
wouldn't
what we were
surprise
saying about going off to Target 2 next lifetime, and she says, I thought going to Target was like going to Disneyland. Jill Davidson, Mark, everyone had family plans this evening, and
good for them.
Yeah, luckily we got tons of SPTV crew members, and you know, I think it's good.
Oh,
to
I
mix
had
it
a
up
question
anyway.
about the Target 2 thing.
Oh,
Didn't LRH violate his own policy when he did that? Because like his whole thing is that he discovered when he was trying to start the thing in Africa and it failed. That was why he started the Sea Organization in the first place, because he realized an OT can't do this alone. And that's why he started the Sea Organization. And then he's like, well, now I'm dying, so I'm going to go off to Target 2 by myself and start it off. And then you guys just stay here and I'll meet you there. Like, he violated the first principle of the Sea Organization by going off by himself.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. You're not supposed to think about it too hard.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. I just had that whole brain thought while you guys were talking about it. I was like, he just ditched us again.
There's no making sense of any of it, really.
No, and none of it makes sense. It's stupid.
I personally like seeing Aaron surrounded by women tonight. So
Yes, I get to do the least amount of talking possible, which is good for me. It's good for
Aaron
the voice.
is always surrounded by women.
It's true.
Oh yeah,
In
I
his
got,
house.
I got 3 daughters.
Oh, my
I got 3 daughters. Okay, this is a good question. We probably have a lot of different takes on this. Carol just saying, what do they do to convince people the planet is being cleared? I probably should know, but tell us anyway, because I'm not actually sure. So
I was going to say that at the events, they show videos. And Mark's covered how these videos are done, because it's a lot of actors that they just kind of rush, into places and shoot them and send them off on their way. But because places are normally empty, but it shows tons of people, and then they get somebody to sign a proclamation that they write for them, and they could mean nothing in that town, but because it's the only person in this certain town so it looks like Scientology is worldwide acceptance, and it's a household word, and it shows little pictures from all around the world. So in the bubble, you think that it's really happening. That's why information control is such a big part of mind control, because they make you think that all your work is actually paying off. And it's just crap. Lie.
Yeah. Vanessa, as a public, did you particularly care one way or the other, whether the planet was getting cleared or How did you think about that whole thing?
I definitely cared, and going to the events and seeing all that progress that was allegedly being made in other places, like you spoke today on your live about Mexico. Like, I would bring up, how is this possible? Like, we haven't cleared Hollywood. So, like, how are we going to clear the planet? Because this is like the biggest population of Scientologists, right? So this isn't making sense to me. But that's just another thing that they just do those mental gymnastics because they want to believe it. So,
yeah. And it's funny. So, like, I knew clearing. My understanding of clearing the planet was at least half of Earth, you know, up the bridge. But when you get up to numbers that large, it's actually almost impossible to conceive them. So all Miscavige has to do is convince us, when we were all in, that we were growing by leaps and bounds. And that was sort of good enough. Nobody sat down and crunched numbers and are like, but wait a second, if I'm going to be alive for 70 more years, how close should we be to the target by then? Nobody's thinking like that.
No, not at all. You know, and then plus one place in Scientology doesn't know what's happening in another place. So you might be sitting in an Oregon, Toronto thinking, wow, we've only got like 5 public and nothing's really happening here. And everything is happening other places. They're just booming and it's just us. But no, really all the organizations are almost closed. So it's just, it's just PR. That's why they don't like people speaking out, because the truth is coming out.
Yeah,
it does seem much bigger. I mean, when you're in, for sure. I mean, I remember like when we claimed that we had handled peace in the Middle East with the Way to Happiness, because we had handed out, I forget how many millions of flyers had been handed out, the Way to Happiness book list, and we had made peace in the Middle East. And I remember I went to the Wailing Wall as a 17-year-old. I was on vacation with my grandfather. He took us on a cruise in the Mediterranean as a teen. And I'd been to the Wailing Wall and through parts of Israel and like different parts there. And I thought, wow, I've been there. This is amazing. And I remember, you know, seeing on the news as a kid, all the bombings and things. And I thought, the Way to Happiness did that. That's incredible. And when I left, sitting there on the news, seeing all this like turmoil in Jerusalem and all this, I was like, wait a minute, we made peace there. The Way to Happiness, what happened? Like, that was like the first thing that went through my mind, was like remembering that event where we were all standing and applauding and hip hip hooraying for like 5 minutes about peace in the Middle East. And I got like viscerally angry. Like, I have burned off so much anger from, you know, like the first things that came to my mind in leaving. Like, people always say, like, what's the first chip to fall? For me, it was the amount of like lies in events, specifically of claims that were made, money that had been donated towards campaigns like that, the IAS and other things, thinking about what the hell are these organizations actually doing? Like the superpower building. How many times have people donated for a corner of that building, the Fakakta building? How much does a building cost?
They milked that for all it was worth.
Oh,
they
my
didn't want it to
God.
finish because it was a huge fundraising thing. I
Right?
mean, it's a cash cow. Yeah, don't renovate it because we're still making money for it. And
Just the real estate scheme alone that Scientology has going, besides like destroying people's lives, their mentality, their like eternity, whatever, the real estate scheme is unbelievable. You know what I mean? It's like all of the layers of Scientology are insane. But like that just pissed me off. And when I would ask people specifically about that, they'd be like, well, you know, some churches do that. I'm like, some churches do that. What?
Right, about the fundraising. But it really is just the very flashy graphics of arrows going from one central organization out and multiple organizations growing. It's really embarrassing that all it requires is flashy, shiny objects and slickly produced AV materials to convince Scientologists that Scientology's taken over the world.
Right, yeah.
Oh, 100%.
And some well-placed chiefs of police to issue proclamations to Scientology and a corrupt Colombian general to give David Miscavige a medal. And you're like, well, shit, we solved crime in Colombia. I mean, I guess all of South America's next. The way to happiness can do that. Meanwhile, a SEERG member got shot a block from the pack base. Like it was, if you think about it too hard, it all falls apart. And that's the thing about controlling how people think in these cults. If they have had the freedom to think, they'd probably leave.
Were you guys still in?
Would have been true too. Oh, sorry, Vanessa. Go ahead.
It's okay. Were you guys still in when Golden Age Attack was re-released? Because that
was the third time or the second time?
For the second time, or whenever it was
2014.
Yeah,
2013, 2014. No. So
I
was already in enough trouble that I wasn't allowed to go to that event.
I specifically remember they like made us go. Like we weren't even good Scientologists, but it was a thing. All of our parents were like, you guys got to go down there. We know that you're teens or whatever, and like get down there. And I just remember watching it. It was so over the top. I knew that it had to be fake, and I didn't understand how everybody else could just go.
You were thinking. You were able to see with your eyeballs. It's like the war is over, you know, the 1993 and I mean the set was straight out of I don't know what.
I was there.
It was
the 93 one.
Yeah, I was there. They brought us up from childcare to watch the announcement, and I felt so proud.
Yeah.
I remember also coming up from childcare. We used to play with the balloons. We would play Keep It Up. That's what we would play. And we would ride up and down the escalators and shit. And because this event was held in a hotel. No, this event was held at the org. And I remember I came up right for the end of the war is over announcement.
So I'm gonna reveal how out ethics I was, guys. So I was in high school in 1993, and my mom was really big on education, and we were really bad people. So my mom put me in public school, guys. And so I during that, what month did that take place? The 93 event?
October.
It was October. Okay, so I was in school, and we did not go anywhere. We did not go to the event. I was probably at a homecoming dance. I was in a prom dress, and so it was my junior year of high school. So I was doing normal people things, and then when I joined the Sea Org in '95. After graduating high school, I had to like reveal that as an overt that I was not at this like monumental event. I had to rewatch it, you know, like on a replay later, and people were like, oh, you know, like as if I was the literal devil because I was with wogs.
Yeah, it was completely criminal. That video had to be seen by Scientologists like 15 times over. It was one of these things like it played on a loop in every reception, and people had to come in and see it. It was a big call-in thing, you know, because now they have tax exempt status, so people are supposed to donate. It was a big money-making scheme again.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy to think that back in that day, the highest donation status you could get for the IES was patron meritorious, $250,000. There was no higher status that existed. Right. Now it's like 300 million.
What did Nancy Cartwright just get? Dragon Emeritorious Fantasticus Budicus.
I saved it because it's so terrible.
What is it, Amy? What did she get?
Okay, I'm gonna find it.
Tell us what ridiculous. It is. It's so ridiculous.
I did. I saved it.
They're making up words now.
By the way, who played a trick? Who played a trick on Tony Ortega by telling him with honors means an extra 1 million?
Did they seriously? I love that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say my inside voice outside. Anyway, moving on.
Let's see.
Sorry. I'm in trouble now. Anyway, moving on.
Nancy Cartwright gets an award for donating $31 million. I'm like, it's not 1 million. It's not an extra million. Anyway, yeah. So that's fine.
I think it's patron Excalibur with honors or something stupid like that.
Oh my God. But she didn't even get the, like, come on. At this point, Nancy, I want to be honest. At this point, Nancy is more of a Scientologist than Tom Cruise has ever been.
Oh, totally.
If we're going to compare Scientology, like doing things for Scientology, being in the forefront for Scientology, making things happen, Nancy Cartwright has done more than any celebrity Scientologist, John included.
And she needs to know what her donations are buying. And she
doesn't care.
Well, she would, I think. I think if
No,
she's
absolutely
she's
not.
only, I mean, a lot of these celebrities are just so sheltered and pampered, and no internal laundry is to ever get on their lines. And so she's just getting stroked with awards and accolades and
But she
things
wouldn't
like that.
believe it though anyway, though, Amy. I mean, she wouldn't, number one, she wouldn't believe it. She's so far gone. But also,
I would
she's a
love to
nice
sit down with
person.
these. I know these,
She's,
I would
yeah.
love to sit down with the celebrities and say, look, I'm going to tell you some facts about what's going on. And then if you continue to support it, then you know what you're supporting, and it's
100%.
on you. Yeah, I would love to do
But
that.
I mean, like Vanessa was a public, so she got the nitty gritty, like, shit or get off the pot Scientology,
Yeah.
as a kid, as a regular person. It was like, you got the Scientology that's in the books. You know what I mean? This is Scientology, the KSW Scientology, the in your face Scientology, and I watched Andrew Gould's interview with the current Scientologist, and I put that in air quotes because that woman has done
There's
nothing
no
in
way.
Scientology.
No.
She's like, she has her pinky toe in
ridiculous.
Scientology. Right.
Yeah,
And I
saw
say that jokingly because she's doing the classic dilettante, celebrity center. I'm just like, I'm here for the funsies. I'm here for the CC Gala. I'm going to parade around Celebrity Center, and I'm going to do like a seminar every once in a while. I'm going to go to Jim Meskimen's, how to make it in the business seminar BS, right? And I'm going to show up when I need to show up at an event, and I'm going to donate when I need to donate, and then people leave her alone. And she's having a good time. Like, great. Like, and like I said in the comment I left on Andrew's thing, like, then just join a regular MLM on Facebook like everybody else, and don't pretend that you're helping people, because it's not. It's destroying people.
Yeah.
It's killing people. It's doing awful things. And this is why all of us are speaking out, because Scientology, with their 501c3 status, it's serious business, because they're harming people. It's not funsies selling leggings. Like, okay, if you want to buy shitty leggings, whatever, that's your choice. You're an adult human and you can wear them or not wear them.
They're conning people. Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
But like Vanessa lost her friend to suicide. We have all, I'm sure we can all raise our hand and know at least one or multiple people, unfortunately, who've died by suicide. We all know multiple people who've died by terminal cancer, because Scientologists don't seek medical help until they're literally dead. Right? Because that's the way Scientology rolls. And so this is the reason why they have to be stopped as an organization, not because people aren't free to go believe wackadoodle ideas in America, right? Like, there's tons of religions and they all have different roads to spiritual enlightenment or whatever, and that's fine. But when you as an organization are stealing people's entire incomes and ways of life and restricting them from communicating with their families or whomever they want to communicate with, or live in whatever, or love whoever they want and things like that, then we're into a whole other realm of, and human trafficking and blah, 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 I mean, the whole gamut. Then we're in a whole other ball of wax. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, and then we have awesome people like Vanessa who've come out of it. I mean, like, my hat is so off to you for getting into therapy and giving that back, because that is just amazing. We need more, people should go see you and get the therapy. For sure.
I'm not a licensed therapist yet. It takes a very long time. I've been in school for about 7 years, and I have my undergrad in psych now. And I'm going into a graduate program hopefully soon. It's funny what you say about the MLM, because I really think the whole FSM program is like an original MLM. That's how my mom paid for my services and hers and made a living sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh,
for
you
sure.
can, in Scientology as an FSM, you refer people to courses and then you put their name in or your name in, and you get 10% or something. So
that's not me putting up the questions
Aaron.
and then taking them down. You can't blame me this time, guys. It's not me.
No, that's me. I'm running them through. Ones that didn't necessarily require answers.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. But do you have to click on them?
They put a super chat up. They get a shout out. Boom.
Yeah.
This is so fun. The community is so supportive. You guys are all awesome.
People are asking what's MLN.
Multi-level marketing, MLM.
Oh, it's with an M. Yeah.
Oh, here's one, a throwback question. Where did you find unscented shampoo? I've never been able to find it.
Oh, I started that because I can tell you, we used to only be able to have Granny's shampoo. So it was terrible. Made my hair like straw. But they put it in the canteen. I have no idea where they got it from. But we had Kirk's Castile soap and then Granny's shampoo. And that's what everybody was supposed to use at the int base.
What about Tom's deodorant? Tom's was what they would sell at the pack canteen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Tom's.
Or the Horse and Mane shampoo from the Walgreens or the Rite Aid.
Was it? Is that the brand or was it shampoo for horses?
No, it's called Horse and Mane. It's like it's got a picture of a horse on it. It's unscented.
But is that the brand or is it actually for horses?
It's the brand.
Okay.
They market it like so people can wash their hair like horses, but it's a brand.
Yeah, she knows what I'm talking about, and it's cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I used to have hair when I was in Scientology. I didn't.
You still have to wash your beard.
Well, I didn't have a beard in Scientology.
Oh.
But yeah. Okay, let's see. Throwback. Melanie C, big fan. Amy, keep up the good fight.
Thank you.
Here's one that sometimes is hard to discuss. Earl Gleason, clarify the Scientology position on disability from birth. Someone else is going to take this one. This is hard for me.
Yeah, I think that the idea, and you guys can tell me what you think, but is that they did something out ethics in a previous life that would cause them to be disabled in this life, because it's always that you pulled it in. Always.
Always.
It literally is one of the most
sympathy.
disgusting fucking things you can ever imagine.
No sympathy at all.
You got a
pulled
kid
it in.
with a disability, and you're
100%.
saying it's because that kid was a suppressive person in a past life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where if you connect, it's one of those things where if you connect the dots in Scientology, like, yes, of course, that was what would make sense in Scientology. But there's a lot of dots that don't get connected. And those dots were never connected for me until I was in the Sea Org at ASHO. I was the tech sec, and an old auditor who'd worked under L. Ron Hubbard, I think it was James Fuller, was being pressured to audit some kid who needed like the foot plates or the wrist straps or something. He's like, why should I waste my time auditing this SP? That's what he said about it.
Yeah.
Tells you what you really think. Yeah.
And
why
so
is that person an auditor?
I was like, SP, what are you talking about?
That person
got a disability. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that person should be nowhere near handling somebody who feels like that. It's unbelievable.
They shouldn't be near other humans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, this guy worked so closely with L. Ron Hubbard. Some of the earlier technical bulletins had James Fuller's name at the bottom of them, not L. Ron Hubbard's.
Oh, okay.
He used to be like CS5 or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
CS5, like Captain
Commodore staff.
Commodore staff.
I mean, essentially senior qualsec int before there was such a post. Essentially. I mean, right? Sort of.
I mean, I think that comes from LRH's L. Ron's original idea that Scientology is there to make the able more able. So if you're not already able, Scientology is not there for you.
No, you're a DB.
Yeah.
But I grew up with a special needs child of Scientology, and I asked the same question: why does she have these issues? And I'm pretty sure that was explained to me, like, essentially Scientologists believe it's like karma that you carry from life to life, and then you end up in this
horrible condition.
Are you still connected to your sibling?
To my
is that your sibling?
Oh no, just somebody who I knew. Whom I believe her mom was in the Sea Org, and she was being raised by her public staff father. And my dad really took a liking to her and would take her out to do, surfing and stuff like that. She was such a sweet girl, and I wonder what happened to her.
Yeah,
she's probably in a facility or something, but just doesn't. It's actually abusive to raise children that way.
No, 100%.
Yeah,
totally. It's disgusting. Okay, we don't see one of these very often. My goodness, SP Cracker Liquor fan. My goodness. You all are amazing and so articulate. The fact that you can speak to everyone, including ex and non-ex Scientologists, is appreciated. Thanks for brightening all my days. Vanessa, I foster and was up to 9
Oh, wow.
at one point.
See, that would be my ideal scene to just be
You just want all the
surrounded by
dogs, Amy?
Oh, I love dogs. I have one, but I'm gonna get a second one because he needs a friend.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Cassie Isaac says, I've watched all the Degraded Daughters videos in 2 days. Great stuff. Thank you for starting a channel and sharing with us. Aaron, I love your passion. Amy, you're just such a joy and a much needed bright spot in this world. How nice.
Thank you.
Cassie. Speaking of which, let me remind everybody that if you're not yet subscribed to Amy, her channel is... What is that noise?
A dog scratching at the door.
Oh, okay. I thought it was my echo. Okay.
I recommend, Vanessa, if you can have a mute button when you're not talking, have it on mute.
I am on mute. I'm actually muting as you guys are saying that.
Oh, then I don't know.
Oh, okay. Okay. If I hear it again, I thought it might have been my reverb somewhere. Okay. If you're not subscribed yet to Amy Scobie, her channel is Who is Amy Scobie? Nora Ames is Oh No Nora. Vanessa LaRose is Degraded Daughters of Dianetics. And if you want to order Amy's book, send $19.95 today to PayPal.me/Scobie Publishing.
Scobie Publishing. That includes shipping. That's the full price.
Oh, wow. That's actually really good.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. I'm looking for, okay. Jane Brown. Nora, you're killing me. I thought you were 29 to 32. Holy crap.
Thank you.
Right.
It's that youth elixir
That's
that she drinks.
Too.
Yes.
I need to know what that is.
I'm Greek. And I'm very in love with my wife.
Okay, good.
That keeps me happy.
Susan Simon. Vanessa, when did you leave?
I would love to answer that question. Let me go satisfy these children and I will be right back.
Oh, okay.
Barking in your ear. I will be right back.
All right. Okay, guys, here's one. Ann Taylor, are there any standard Scientology habits that you just can't kick? For example, looking up words when reading, etc. What do you guys think?
I like looking up words. I've always loved the dictionary, but
I think
that's common sense.
Yeah.
I don't consider that a Scientology habit. I think
not a Scientology thing. It's just he stole it.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't you think? And so anyway, like if I don't know what I'm reading,
wrong words that my wife has to remind me that's not a real word. That's a Scientology word. Often. So I do have to not use certain things. Like I say post sometimes, and she's like, "That's not people."
I'm gonna do a video. I did a video on with Mike and about different name calling and all that kind of stuff, but there's also just general words and that are just in the everyday language, and it's hard. Like you would call them a terminal,
right?
And Matt still does it. That terminal is blah. And I said, you don't say terminal. It's like an airport terminal or something.
Right.
Anyway, the problem, don't you agree that the problem is that sometimes the Scientology word and its meaning is more concise, succinct, and accurate than anything else you could say? So like, I would never probably make the mistake of saying terminal unless I was talking to my wife. Because I know she would know exactly what it means. Instead of going, well, who's the person you go there because you always know that they're the one who can solve anything for you and they care about what you have to say. You just go, so who's your terminal over there? Now, I'm not even sure I'd really say that because it would be a little cringy, but it's an example where it's so easy.
Yeah, it's easy. And also like, I don't know another word that replaces the word havingness. Like when you have high havingness, low havingness, I don't know, where being able to have something, it's called havingness in Scientology, and we would use it all the time. Where you have a can't have, or you're running a can't have on yourself when you say that you can't have potato chips or something. I don't know.
I know there's people Dev T, because for me that's the one I'm holding on to. Like it's a hard one to replace.
Yeah, Dev T, developed traffic. We used to have these big rubber stamps that were like Dev T when somebody would send you something. Yeah.
Okay, so someone explain this one to me. Zippy McAdoo, Gen X represent. Happy you've arrived. Okay, which one of us is Gen X?
We both are, at least, right? Or you're Gen X, Nora's Gen X, and to be honest, I'm a millennial.
I've continued to be under the impression that I'm the oldest possible millennial.
Okay, so you're a elder millennial.
Well, Google is never consistent. Google is never consistent on how it defines it.
At least I'm not an elder.
So
I think it starts at 83.
I was born in September 1980. So does that make me a millennial?
I think you're Gen X.
So
no, what year were you born, Amy?
I was already in the Sea Org when Aaron was born. I was born in 63.
Oh my! Did they have dinosaurs back then?
Stop it.
Yeah.
What year were you born, Aaron?
September 80.
So you're okay. So you're technically, you're like on the cusp. You'd still be considered a millennial. You're in that new generation, Xennials. So they made a micro generation for people from 79 to 83 for people who have like the best. You're the Miley Cyrus generation. You have like part Gen X and part millennial. So you'll have like the morals of both. Basically, you're like in the in between, like my wife. So you're like, you know. P.S. You're only 4 years younger than me, so don't get all like twisted. Like we're so far apart. Like I'm a decade and a half older than you or something.
Okay,
what's wrong with that?
Okay, which one of you guys?
No, I mean
is
Amy.
Chatting
Also,
in the chat
like
as all of us?
we're two amazing ladies. We're hanging. No worries.
Yeah. Thank you, whoever's zippy.
Someone is chatting in the chat as all of us. And
no, that was me. That was me. I'm sorry. I didn't realize how the chat worked. I'm old. Leave me alone. That was me. I didn't realize I could just be myself. I have multiple personalities.
Okay,
I was just trying to calm the chat down. Everyone, I understand. I talk a lot. Aaron and I have known each other for a literal almost 30 years. If Aaron and I have a problem with each other, we will sort it out in our true way. Calm down. I talk a lot.
Was someone talking
like I said
shit
in the comments? If you want to meet me in the virtual parking lot later to sort it out, we can do that. Otherwise, let's all just calm down. Also, I wasn't even here for a whole hour.
You were responding to comments, but responding as all of us, so people thought I was
me.
you or you
it was
me
just
or
me.
Something like that.
Everybody else didn't respond. It was just me.
So
I was making a joke.
Just for the record, for the people who are watching it, or listening, not watching, it looked in the chat like I typed, "Y'all, I'm all good. I'm a big girl, and Aaron and I are good. Let's keep the chat."
That's even better. That's even. I should just left it alone.
I wasn't here for an hour. I had to catch up. If y'all want to meet me in the virtual parking lot later to soar. Okay.
Love Aaron. Even better. I was trying to type it surreptitiously while everyone else is talking. This is even better. I'm gonna leave it there.
It's in Amy's chat as well. Y'all, I'm a big girl.
Oh no! What the heck?
It's the best. Okay. This is the best chat ever.
Oh,
now I know how it works.
Okay, everyone, it wasn't me either. But
no, I said it wasn't Amy because all I saw was Amy's pop up as my chat. I was like, oh no, I wasn't trying to say it as Amy.
My first live with Mike, I did one of those and I said something, girl crush thing or something.
That is really funny. All right, here's a throwback comment for
Vanessa's like, I'm never doing this again. Oh my god.
I just like that everyone's like, bless her heart for trying to go live with dogs. Sorry.
Yeah, right? yeah, good. We love having you. It doesn't matter.
Thank you.
So for the question we were asking earlier, Hillsong is a mega church that had several scandals. Carl Lentz was the infamous pastor who had that Tom Cruise energy. It was Brian Houston who was profiting like David Miscavige. Volunteers were like Sea Org members. Okay, well, there you go. There you go.
So it was just answering an earlier question.
Okay, check this out. FN Whizzlewhoop. Finizzle, F Nizzlewhoop, or Finizzlewhoop. My ex once said that unless I learned to know God, I would never truly be able to feel love. Do Scientologists have any beliefs like that? Like without Scientology, you can't really appreciate art.
Scientology, without Scientology, you're doomed to the pit of oblivion for the rest of eternity. It's the only chance in the last endless trillions of years for us to dig ourselves out of the mud, blah, 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 blah. And so, It's like if you don't become a Scientologist and if you don't avail yourself of the technology, you're doomed for oblivion. You're going to basically, what did he say? You're going to splinter into like fractions of nothingness.
A cinder.
Cinder. Yeah,
burnt
cinder.
cinders.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah, I mean, they believe
dark.
Scientology is the be all end all of everything. It's not even about no love. They don't care about love. It's whether you're going to even exist.
Love. You
I
don't
mean,
talk about love in Scientology.
No.
I mean, it's called theedy weedy if you do. You know,
Thank
it's
you.
airy fairy theedy weedy if you talk about love in Scientology. You know, I remember seeing somebody write, even though they write at the end of their dispatches, much love all the time. It's just like they don't mean it, and you never talk about it. And if you show anybody love or compassion or extra kindness or something, it's usually designated as some other fish to fry that you must have. I was really nice to people, and I was always accused of flirting. Even
Thank you.
Yeah, always.
What?
Nonstop.
Just because
Nonstop.
that's everything that is nice is a 2D flow.
Right.
Which is ridiculous. I'm super effusive in life.
Yeah,
I am
me
a
too.
hugger. And I'm a hugger with everybody. I'm a hugger with men, women, dogs, people, whatever.
Yeah.
If I like you, you're getting a hug from me because that's who I am.
Yeah,
And
you're full
a
of
lot
love.
of a lot of women will just have boobs, and then that's considered 2D.
Right.
flowing.
This is a 2D flow. This is just emanates.
Yeah.
it's like the Care Bear stare.
Yeah,
from
how
the
could
boob.
It
you?
is. It's just automatic 2D.
This is a 2D flow.
Well, these are more than
How
Ds,
could
but
you
that's
do
another
that to
thing.
us,
Yeah.
Nora? You're 2D flowing us.
This is
Exactly.
technically it's two, that it's gone higher in the alphabet than D now. But yeah.
Yeah, I gave Larissa that rap name actually because 2D flow. She was at Mojave, and I was like, "Girl, you were always getting in trouble for 2D flows. That's your rap name."
Who
But I mean,
was
if
that?
you dress a certain way, you're 2D flowing.
I know.
I
You
mean,
smile.
like Vanessa, if we were to, you guys were talking about dressing earlier, right?
Yeah.
Like the way you're dressed right now, your hair, I mean, your gorge, right? So like your whole vibe would be like Vanessa is a walking 2D flow. Like if you
Yeah,
were
you got
walking around the
lipstick
org right
on.
now, you would just
You put
literally
lipstick
be,
on, you got other fish
Yeah.
to fry.
right? The hair, the makeup, the vibe.
Too much.
Vanessa would be like,
What?
that's it. Get this.
I was always accused. I mean, I didn't have any self-respect. The only self-respect I had was I just made sure that I looked halfway decent. Even if I never slept, I just took a little bit so that I had some dignity left, even if I was digging trenches or whatever. And I was still even accused when I did that.
Did you put lipstick on when you were digging a trench?
No, but I would at least like,
Because that is 2D flowing. Come on.
I'm
now.
like, come on, Amy, who are we putting that
Lipstick is
on for,
2D
hon?
I know.
She's like, I gotta look good today, guys. This ditch is gonna get dead. Like
This ditch ain't digging itself.
Oh my God.
But guys would never get in trouble for looking good or taking care of themselves. No.
They didn't usually look good.
Oh,
Yeah.
ow. Amy is bringing in the stuff. Now, Vanessa, you were a public. Give us the real sauce. When you were looking at CRG members, and were you at CC? Where were you?
I was at CC, yeah.
Oh, God. Were you there in the dead lettuce days, or were you there for the newer stuff? Like when we had our dead lettuce ties with the floral dead lettuce ties.
No, I was there. I
there
looked at
through
the
that
Shangri-La.
evolution, and then we had the white scoopy neck shirts that were just like, and they just like
Yeah.
fell to the sides, and the pearls, the lovely
I
pearls that
I
we had.
remember. Yeah.
Oh God! And the jackets, we had jackets, and the pants and the skirts. Yeah, that was fun. Okay, so did we ever look nice? Was there a time where you were like, I want to wear that outfit. That looks upstat and like professional. Or did we just look like a stewardesses on crack that were just never quite neat enough? Like frumpy, be honest, be ruthless.
It was
Let's-
one of the main reasons I never joined the Sea Org.
People got paid a lot of
I
money.
don't know what else to tell you, Nora. The starch had me. I was like, no. No, thank you.
Yeah, people got paid a lot of money to design those uniforms.
Do you know how much? Hey, Amy, reveal to everybody how much we paid that Italian schmuck to design those stupid.
I don't know,
uniforms.
a lot of money, and it's in my book as like a feather in my cap that Nora and Vanessa just smashed.
Oh my
so
God.
sorry. So sorry.
Could I just tell
I'm
you though,
kidding.
those pants were some of the worst pants I ever wore. Now we got as women, we got like 5 skirts and 1 pair of pants. Okay. And then we slowly started rebelling and all requesting like the pants. But these pants were the worst design pants that have ever been made for any human being. This tailor did not know what a crotch was. He designed it on a doll. It did not know what a human, like, women's crotch was. So you
No.
would literally just walk and you could feel the seams in the crotch just slowly start like pulling apart
Oh
if you
my
just
God.
sat. So you'd be standing there at muster, just like hoping, just praying that your little crotch is not going to split, right? And as you're sitting there, you're just like, and I cannot tell you the amount of times that we all split our crotch, just like straight up, just the whole, not like a little split, the whole crotch. And I was sitting there, speaking of Ouija, I was sitting there desperately with like the sewing kit, just trying to sew up my whole crotch because I didn't have any more pants, just trying to sew it up so I could go to work, because you can't walk around with your chonies hanging out.
Oh,
Can
God.
you imagine like just somebody with an entire split crotch just running up and down the halls of Celebrity
No.
Center, their chonies hanging out?
I mean,
Next
there
question.
was a seamstress. I do remember the seamstress room.
There's a room. It's called, they hand you a needle and thread and good luck.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh my God. Those stupid pants.
What's the next question?
Ron says, just want to show my support, praying for justice for the Jane Does. To quote Tori
Yes.
Chrisman, TikTok Davy, ticky-tacky.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Wear a skirt over it. Yeah.
Did
Would
somebody
love
say
to
that?
see y'all's reactions on the Hillsong documentaries. I think the similarities
We
are
already
too
said
eerie to
that, yeah.
Scientology.
I would
No,
love,
it's a
yeah, I'm
it's a
probably gonna
different
watch
it's a
that.
different one though.
Oh.
No. Actually, maybe there's more than one. I don't even know.
No, there are a
Zippy
couple.
Mac.
There's a couple that are out.
Nice. Loving all the laughter tonight. P.S. I meant Nora, but delighted all of you are here. Oh boy. Okay, Steve Britton, unsuccessful 2D flow, but gets solo 2D assist. Indeed. Yes.
That's also an overt. You can't do that.
The solo 2D assist. Actually, I have a cup in my merch store, or a t-shirt that says, shh, solo 2D assist in progress.
That's amazing.
Disgusting.
Oh my God.
Amy, come
It's
on now.
natural. Oh,
You don't
why am
need
I
it
hearing
in
an
your
echo?
merch store.
Oh, you can put anything in the merch store. It's unlimited.
Oh,
You know, it
Cool.
doesn't, you know.
Amy, it's
Very-
hilarious.
very creative, Aaron.
It wasn't even my idea. I didn't create it. It was actually Mark's idea. Let's see if Mark
Throwing
joins
Mark
the chat
under
to
the bus.
officially object to being thrown under the bus. Why? That is just covering you guys up almost. Okay. Rural SD lawyer. I stepped my toe into a high control Christian group ran by elder men for a very short time. Women had to be modest, frumpy. Med had very few rules. For women, no pants, makeup, or cutting hair. Very demeaning. Yeah, it's
People are
funny how
so
that
weird.
always works out that way.
I don't know. When people can just get very creative about how to control people, it's just so stupid.
Yeah.
There's a lot of patriarchy deep in Scientology as well, and it's taken a lot to undo that. Like the references about what women are supposed to be taught, not anything but children, the management of children, stuff like that. It's pretty heavy in there. So
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so weird how that conflicts with how Scientology actually operates. Like, you know, for it to have evolved into no kids in the Sea Org. And I mean, I guess Sea Org management is probably more female heavy than not, right? Wouldn't you
I think
agree?
so. Mm-hmm.
but
And
using
yet
the
there was-
word sir for everybody
Right.
is
Yeah, that was
inherently
weird.
patriarchal.
Sure.
David Miscavige said, because the Watchdog Committee had probably 80% women, said that was the why for international Scientology. So, yeah, he
Too
at
many
least
women?
thinks way too many women. Yeah, it should have all been men.
Oh my.
What do you
Wow.
do as a woman? You're standing there as he's declaring this, in front of, you know, what do? You just kind of like sink into the floor, or you just, like, what?
It would have been great if you guys, all the ladies, would have just been like, okay, deuces, and then just like walked out and left the 10 guys there with him holding the bag and just be like, see ya.
Yeah, you couldn't get
and
off
just
the
everybody
property
walk
that
off
easy.
post like Rosie the Riveter. Bye.
Yeah.
Good luck putting everything together.
I was saying the other day, you know, people should just like dig a tunnel underneath the fences at the International Base and get out. And then Jackson comes on, who used to be the security chief there, and he said that he put fencing 4 feet down so people couldn't dig their ways out or in. But oh my God,
Jesus, unbelievable.
Yeah. This is
guys,
how they have to control their staff.
Yeah, check this out. Mane and Tail is an actual horse shampoo that developed a reputation in the 80s for being good for people hair, now sold at people's stores. Hey, if it works on a horse, it'll work on a human.
Horse and tail. It's mane and tail. Thank you for correcting me.
Yeah.
Kat and Maggie. Appreciate it. Yes.
Okay, Rue says, I got stuck at Mexico City Airport 48 hours ago due to volcanic activity trying to get home to Puerto Vallarta. Made it home without any BTs. Woo! Or you dodged a bullet there, or you dodged a bunch of BTs. Wow, volcanic activity down there. Nuts. Lefanda Grauklinger wants to know, when will we see a Vanessa Kelly Copter live stream soon?
I would love that. Never actually met Kelly, so that'd be
I had invited Kelly to join this live stream tonight until I was like, wait a second, did Amy say she could join or couldn't join? And because I thought she had said she couldn't join, so I invited a third person, which was Kelly Copter.
You said, can you join? I said, yes, exclaim. So I don't know why that was confusing.
Total misunderstanding.
By the way, I have talked to Nora before, like years ago. Nora,
you did? When?
Yeah, you helped me on that when you were putting together the Kids of Scientology like art project, and how can we express ourselves through art who weren't ready to speak. So I just had about an hour or two conversation with you, but I remember how stabilizing it was. So
oh,
yeah.
Well, I'm glad we did that.
Me too.
And I'm glad to talk to you again.
Yeah.
That was like forever ago.
Forever ago, but it takes a long time to be willing to speak out sometimes, and you have to lose a lot first. So
yes, it is a journey. I mean, I think people think that sometimes it you know, we just end up here and we're just like shouting about it. And we're, like you mentioned earlier, that, you know, when you were talking about Taylor and stuff, that, you know, they were talking about it so normally, but it's still very traumatic. And in talking about our lives, and we're joking and we're laughing and stuff. I mean, we're talking about all these things that are obviously like really gross. And it's funny to us now. It's funny to us having gone through it, but we've obviously all dealt with it, you know, over decades and time and things like that, to reflect on it and be able to deal with it. Like, I was speaking out for a long time and I had to stop for a while, and people asked like what happened, and now I'm back. And I had to take like a serious break because my mental health wasn't good. Like, it was really not good. And I had to take some time to really work on myself some more, because it was taking a gigantic toll on me. Just, you know, eating at me, and I wasn't able to sleep or do other things or care for my kids properly and stuff. And so now I'm, you know, much healthier on myself, but sometimes it's, you know, that's why I have so much reverence for people like Amy, who never stopped speaking out, Leah, Aaron, Mike, you know, people like Hannah Whitfield, who's been doing it for like almost my whole life. Hannah, Spanky, these guys who I keep, you know, they are the OGs, Jesse, who've been out here, you know, since the very beginning, speaking the truth for such a long time, because, you know, Tori, who's been doing it forever, because it does take a village to get this message out. And it's not just one person or one person's perspective that is important. It's important that, like, I think for the most part, we're a united front, in that we all have the same goal in mind of like what we need to do. And especially with this Masterson case, we're all hyper focused on justice for the Janes, especially for what they've been through for the last 20 years. fighting the church, you know, and what they've been through. But it's incredibly tough. It's incredibly tough. And I think, you know, I try to bring a tiny bit of levity and humor where you can intersperse it in this gross subject, and kind of like tell people how it is for real, you know, because people react to that a little bit differently, you know, because I think when you get too, I don't ever want somebody to be like, that sounds really interesting, I think I'll check that out. You know, like I never want that to be someone's reaction to Scientology. Like, please, like seriously, never ever, please don't. You know, that kind of a thing. So that just, that would break my heart.
I agree with that very much.
You know.
Okay, this is an ultimate throwback comment from literally the first comment we had of the stream. Elizabeth Marino says, I'm sorry I mentioned paid subscriber content before the episode even started. Fans keep asking you, Mark and Mike, to do a subscription, but I worry the most important people will miss the message. Yes, I get it.
You can do that on YouTube now. You know that, right?
Yes, and that's so. I think people are having their minds like Patreon, where everything's certain content is behind a paywall. That's why I don't do something like a Patreon. I don't want. Why put anything behind a paywall? I don't want to do that. But subscriptions is sort of like YouTube's version of Patreon, where people want to subscribe every month. But you know, I did occur to me that if there was going to be such a thing, like if I were to ever do it, it maybe. There's certain, maybe there would be the edited, like the efficiently, nicely edited versions of some things. I don't edit much. I do live streams, but if I were to edit stuff, I would put the unedited stuff in a Patreon in case people wanted to see how the sausage got made. I'd put the edited stuff, the stuff that I want, you know, broadcast. But anyway, it's sort of an academic thing, so I'm not interested in doing that at all.
I don't even know what you would. I don't even know what I could do as an exclusive. I mean, would you do like an exclusive Ask Me Anything?
I know.
Secret Ask Me Anything. Then that just seems rude. I don't know.
Right. Totally.
You know, but you should feel flattered though that people are like, I'm willing to pay you a subscription for exclusive access to Goliath.
Yeah. But then, but then it's like, I'm sure YouTube takes the same percentage of subscription revenue as they take from super chat revenue. So who cares? You know?
I like this one. Aaron's hair disconnected from him.
He's basically the reverse of what he was when we were teens. He had all this hair on top and nothing on his face, guys. So just like if somebody wants to take a screenshot and just put that hair on his head, that's what he looked like when we were younger. It's like me, but
I love this screen name every time it pops up. Rexican Messler. Where can I get an SPTV t-shirt? My band's doing a national tour. I'd like to show it off and tell them what it's about. Loving Yins all. Yins is a Pittsburgh thing. So my merch store is actually active. It just hasn't necessarily started talking to my YouTube channel yet. But like my Fourth Wall store is active. You can get SPTV merch there. And that's why you can also get it on Mike's channel. You can get it on Mark's channel. And I guess anyone's free to throw it up on their any stores or whatever's they've got as well. Fourth Wall is a merch provider where it's unlimited. Like it's on demand. Like you can just upload a design and say, put it on a shirt, put it on a hoodie, put it on a hat, put it on a tumbler, put it on a mouse pad. It's a backpack. It's really unlimited. A notebook. It's stickers, you know? So I don't even know how to put the link to my Fourth Wall merch store. I just know how to log into it. It's a little weird. That's why I haven't announced it yet. So if anyone, I don't know, if anyone finds my Fourth Wall merch store, you can get an SPTV t-shirt. Go for it. Here's one that let's just tackle this and then we'll wrap it up. How are the Florida abortion laws going to be dealt with in the Sea Org? I've always said I didn't think this was going to impact the Sea Org. What do you guys think? What do you guys know about these laws and how do you think it might affect the Sea Org?
I think they'll send them to California.
Yeah, Scientology is going to do what they're going to do, and if that means to send them somewhere else to do it, then they will.
I mean, there's got to be a neighboring state that still has. I mean, the South is pretty strict right now. I would think, Amy, you're a woman, and Aaron, you're surrounded by women. and you guys are both in Florida, people posed you the question earlier, why would you guys choose to live in Florida? That's my main question. Why, as people with women in your lives, and you are a woman, get the fuck out of there. That's my message. Like, it's not women friendly. That's fuck Scientology, like whatever. You know, they're stupid. I mean, don't give them the win, but give yourselves a win. And like live in a state that
what I've always said on this,
like,
and I probably haven't been watching the laws close enough to know what the actual
you should invest in that
are.
Because the
Right.
laws are basically
Now.
Handmaid's Tale for real for women. Like they want to give girls, for your girls that are in high school, like a test to prove that they're a girl so that they can play sports. It's almost to the point of like, pull your pants down so we can see your vulva.
Oh,
and
you're not talking
you're
about
an actual
abortion?
Anatomical girl to be on a girl's team. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll have to separately.
So I just Googled this real quick. It says
about-
DeSantis signed into law a bill approved by the Republican-dominated Florida legislature to ban abortions after 6 weeks. Is that true?
Yes. Yeah. No, it's getting really bad. Like, they are putting period trackers. It's other things. It's really bad.
6 weeks?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
like impossible.
I'm telling you, like, as a dad of 3 girls, you need to look up these laws, and you may need to, like, you're in real estate. Get out.
Well, Scientology, the Sea Org really would send.
I know that you feel strong about that, but I wouldn't like. Yeah. I feel strong in certain ways too. So, but we're not going to talk about it here.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, you have to protect people's rights to do whatever they want. No lawmaker should make a law restricting anybody's rights to their own bodies, however you feel about the issue. The laws of the land should allow people to make the decisions themselves and not have a law passed to restrict anybody to their own health care. That's all.
Yeah.
However you feel about certain issues.
Body autonomy is important for all health, emotional and everything.
That's all.
Yeah.
But in terms of the Sea Org, they will definitely find a way around that, in the same way that rich people always find a way around any law. If you have money and you have power, you will find a way around whatever law is in your way. That's how they.
That's
work.
what Scientology does.
Always.
You know, it's the law is going to be changed for what they need to get done. You know,
Of
and
course.
those words have come out of David Miscavige's mouth to me. You know, because I tried to do something legally and it was like, no, we do what we want to do when we make the lawyers figure it out so that we don't have to abide by what, you know, arbitrarily is a law right now.
Yeah. Well, guys, 2 hours and 6 minutes have elapsed since we started this beautiful live stream. The time does go quickly. Usually we end it right at 2 hours. Do you guys have some burning desire to keep going here? Or should we call it a wrap?
Well,
this was fun.
Did we get through the starred questions?
It's not possible to. So, by the way, I want to go on a public record here. So, some people says, "Oh my God, Aaron doesn't read non-super chats anymore." Okay, let me make a statement. Just like people will go, "Oh no, I'm not going to get my comment read if I don't do a super chat." I go, "But what about the people who spent money on a super chat and go, these sons of bitches didn't even read my super chat?" You cannot possibly get to all the super chats on streams when there's this many viewers, and that's and yet, as much as I'm complaining about any criticism we've received, we did actually read a lot of non-super chat questions today.
Yes. Yeah,
right?
we did. Yeah, we did.
But you see, someone's going to be pissed no matter what. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Don't be pissed, anybody.
Don't be angry.
Don't be angry. We love
you. So anyway, was this a good time, you guys? Was this fun? Was this good?
Yeah, I mean,
woof,
that's what the dog says.
The dogs are enjoying it.
Yes. Okay, guys. So before we let everyone go, let's remind everyone, if you're not yet subscribed to Amy's channel on YouTube, it is Who Is Amy Scobie. Nora's channel is Oh No Nora. Vanessa's channel is Degraded Daughters of Dianetics. And to order Amy's book, send $19.95 to paypal.me/Scobie Publishing. All right, everyone.
Signed copy.
For a signed copy. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging in there with us tonight. Thanks to everyone who watches until the very end, and we will talk to you soon. Good night.
Bye.
If you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right